Today I want to do something a little bit different. We've been working with this JavaScript stuff, but we haven't really showed its full potential because we haven't created anything other than, hey, let's just change the name of this or change the color of that. Let's do something a lot more interesting, something useful. I want to build a calculator. So what I've done is I've opened up our code anywhere, and I'm just going to start from absolutely scratch. We've got our page, our web page that we've been building in code anywhere. I had to open it up. It took a little bit of time to go ahead and view that, but then what I did was I looked at info. I was able to get this link, which I clicked, which actually gives me the home page of this. And now I'm going to go ahead and put up another nav item here. I'm going to call it calculator because we're going to make a calculator today. So I'm going to open up nav first, and I'm just going to go start putting that in there. So this one I can name calculator. And calculator. Remember, these have to be specific, for case sensitivity. So over here, this calculator.php needs to match whatever I make over here. This I can name it whatever I want. It doesn't have to actually match right here, but this has to match here. So as a general rule of thumb, we always make them lowercase. That's what I've done here. So I've got that. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close this. If I go here, I see I will have calculator, but if I click on it, it's going to have nothing because the page doesn't exist yet. So I'm going to make it. Create file. Calculator.php. I said that had to match, and then we should have something. We shouldn't get this error. So we have something, but we don't have all of that other stuff that we need. So what I do usually is, since we had a page that we have been using, with a format that has the navigation and some other stuff, I just copy that, stick it in my new page, and I'm going to remove all of the stuff that we didn't use or aren't using. So I'll push save. Actually, I'll put just some test information in there to see if we've got it working. And yeah, we do. So we have ASDF, that matches what we have here. And we're going to start. In a calculator, you usually have 10 digits, 1 through 0, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 0. And let's just start doing that. So do ID equals 1. Oops. And I'm going to probably add some classes to it as well. So I'm going to make them buttons. But anyways, let me just continue here. So that will be the number 1 and div. All right, and I'm going to also use that onClick function because we're going to be clicking these buttons a lot. And any of the JavaScript that I put in here will actually function when you click it. So again, that's pretty much self-explanatory with onClick, but I wanted to just mention that as well. So I'm going to change these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And then I also have to change these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And I'm going to have a couple more buttons too. I'm probably going to have a plus sign, equal, let's see here, minus sign, M-I-N-U-S, and then also an equals, E-Q-A-L-S. Over here, I can go ahead and add those, plus, minus, equals, so that I have a good idea of what they look like. So if I have all these buttons, I'm going to need a place for all of the action to take place, like a little answer box. So I'll make one of those. And I think I'll probably give it the same class or maybe a new one. And let's do this, div, and the div. I'm going to have some type of separation in here. So I'll just put an HR, which is a horizontal line. And let me continue here. So let's see what we've got. It probably won't look good because we didn't add any styles yet in our style sheet. Okay, so we've got nothing up here and some other stuff. Let's start to add some more to this. We need to edit a style. So we have set this up so that we have an answer box class, and a button class. Let's write those in our style sheet. And to make a class in here, classes, or with a period, Okay, start with a period. So we had answer box, and then we also had button. And let's start adding some things to that. So button, I want it to have a different background. So, and put some padding in there. Let's make it so the cursor makes a little hand when you pull over it. Let's see here. We're going to make the width special. Let's do 30 pixels. We'll go from there. We'll try some other things after that. The answer box, I think, much is the same, with the exception of the width. I want it to be 100%, and I don't need the cursor pointer thing. And let's make it a different color since it is a different area. So let's see if that made any changes here. Okay, and I don't have anything in the answer box yet, so it doesn't show up. If there's nothing in there, you won't see it. Let me give you an example here. So let me put a period in here. All right, so there is the period. It shows up, but if you don't have anything in there, then it won't show up. There's a way to fix that, sort of like a hack, you could say. We need a height. So let's do height. And let's set that to something like 40 pixels also. Let's see what we get. Okay, so now it automatically is staying there. And you know what I think would also be interesting to use is centered text, because we look at these buttons and these aren't centered. So let's center this text line. And then we're also, I think I'll do a border. Border, 1px solid string CCC. And let's do border radius too. And let's do, like, I don't know, 5 pixels, something. So let's copy that over to our buttons because I think they'll be useful there. Take a look at what we have. All right, everything's centered. That looks pretty good. There's a little radius on the edges, centered here. Let's go ahead and get started with the code that makes this work. I got to get rid of that period. Okay, so on click, we've been playing around with the dynamic JavaScript that's going to be able to set something equal to a value or retrieve something dynamically when you click stuff. This is one of the most powerful things that they have out there. Let me go ahead and show you one of them. So this, we're going to start, you don't have to remember this, sometimes I copy and paste it, but document.get element by ID, and they have some weird ways that they capitalize these. E is capitalized, B is capitalized, I is capitalized. That's really hard to remember. But anyways, enter HTML, and then we're going to put equal sign, and we're going to set this answer box, enter HTML, equal to whatever value I put here, 1. That seems like a good idea. And then we also need to name it. So this is actually the ID, get element by ID. See that? Put that in there, and then whenever I click this on click, it's going to send a 1 to the inside of there. Let's test that. Push refresh, and click, 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 click. Not working. Maybe I have a mistake somewhere. So I noticed that this is in red, but I don't know exactly why. Why is that in there? DOC.MENT. Get element by ID. Why is that red? On click. Oh, I forgot an equals. Equals. On click equals. You need that on click equals. There we go. Let's try that one more time. On click 1. There we go. We have a 1. And it won't work for the other ones because we didn't put that in there yet. But let's copy and paste this and start adding that in. Start up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then we're also going to add in these, and we'll say plus or minus, and don't forget the equal sign over here too. I forgot that. And let's go ahead and see what we get. 1 plus, plus working to 7 plus 5. Yeah, that's not working. See, we have this problem. It's automatically setting this box equal to whatever we click here, and it's not retaining that same value. Well, there's two ways we could approach this. We could get this value that's already in this box and add something to it, or they know this happens a lot, so they made this in the code. Plus equals. So when I put this plus in front of here, it's going to leave what's in the box and add the number that I'm trying to add, or the multiplication sign, or addition sign or plus sign. It's going to add that to the end of that box. So now let's try it. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. There we go. It is now keeping what's in there and then adding to it whenever I click this button. All right, and now we need, though, to calculate all of this. And to do that, this is the equation. It's already written out. So let's just dynamically get that. The way we do that is with this. We put this in here twice. It's going to equal itself. But what happens is it's going to evaluate this part first, okay, and then set this equal to this part. But we're going to do something over here. So we have this equation. If I simply just leave it at that, it's not going to evaluate. It's going to give you the same thing. So we need to evaluate it from math. And funny thing, there is a function that does that, that's pre-written. We don't have to do anything. It's called eval, and it does just that. It takes a string and it evaluates it as if it were a math equation, eval. I knew it existed, so all I have to do is type it in there. Don't forget to add some of your, so if you have the parenthesis right here, you need the parenthesis right here, and then put a semicolon after everything. This allows you to actually add another line if you wanted. Done. And it would just pop, do two things in this on-click, but that gets lengthy and we don't need it to happen. So let's go ahead and see if this is working. 1 plus 2 equals 3. There we go. We have now created a calculator. Plus 6 equals 9. The only thing that might be missing, I think, is a clear button. Okay, so if we wanted to clear this out, how could we do that? That is what I'm leaving up to you. So I'd like you to try to create this as best you can. And I want to see your examples for the next class, our live class. That is the assignment today. Create this and add a button that will clear that out. So let me put that up here. So I'm just going to make this say clear, clear, and there is some code in this when on-click JavaScript area that you're going to need to push. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but when you push it, what I want it to do is make this value up here empty. So we have 1, 2, 3, and when you click on this, something needs to happen up here. What is it? That's what you're going to tell me. That is the assignment for today, and due Monday, we have live class coming up, so try your best. You're welcome to email me with questions, and all of this has to do with the projects that I want you to be able to accomplish. So give it your best shot and see what you come up with. I believe in every one of you.